Welcome to the show that looks at truth, fiction, and reality with a smirk. I'm Aaron Peterson.
I'm Amanda Sink.
And I'm Zack Parkerson.
Welcome to Smirk. Every other week, one of our hosts introduces an original story, which we then use as a springboard for spirited discussion on whatever the moral or theme of their story is. And this week, it is Zach's turn. Someone's going to die.
You know, I was going to say, no, not this week. It feels lighter. But then actually, there is indeed a death. So,
Wow, Zachary, do you think of anything other than people dying? We had an episode, on the last episode, there was a conversation about, do you ever worry about people committing actual murder because they're so invested in horror? And I think it's more the opposite. Zach is so anti-horror but he only thinks about people dying.
I think he's going to kill that horror guy that he talked about on the last episode. I think that's what he's going to do. He's planning to take out the guy who's like the vegan who can't stop telling you, I like horror. Horror is very misunderstood.
It's so funny. I don't consider myself anti-horror. Okay. It's just.
Well, you came across that way.
You're just an anti-horror guy.
That's genderous.
Does Saw count?
How is that genderous?
Saw counts.
Saw's one of my favorite franchises of all time.
Yeah, I would say that's horror. It's not. Right. It's not a comedy. Well, I mean, parts of it.
I think of them as thrillers, crime thrillers.
No, that's definitely horror.
Like heads rip off and there's limbs and you're sawing through a leg. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Certainly, there are consequences for the characters.
This is what he considers people losing parts of their body forcefully. Like having their skin ripped off. It's just a consequence.
If they had appreciated their life, they would not be in the position they are in.
Zach, you talk like this. We all don't appreciate the things we have in our life or our life.
I do. So. This year has taught me to appreciate every single one of them.
Wait, Jigsaw was a good guy, though, right?
Oh my!
The first movie, I would argue possibly.
The first one, you could make that argument, but as it goes along,
as it turns out, apparently on that first one, he also had 47 movies worth of traps already set up. So
he had many apprentices.
He's very smart.
Good for him. He really built up a talent pipeline for his workforce.
Such foresight. He's like, some people go to Home Depot to round up people to help them on their home projects. He just run around going, hey, you ever thought about masterminding a murder spree? Good. Get in the truck. Let's go.
How many people have you killed, man? Just taking a poll.
He'd probably be really smart and find all of those engineers who could create really, really interesting and intense traps.
They'd have to be. Because if you ever tried to I can't even open a bear trap without clawing myself. So I don't understand how all of these apprentices are very, very intelligent.
Well, that's because you don't want to live.
I want to hear your story. Is it time for your story yet?
It got nothing to do with Saw.
Kind of disappointed now.
Well, we're still in the Halloween spirit. We're close enough in October.
This is November at this point.
I said we're close enough to October.
Oh, I gotcha.
Those same horror vegans will tell you that it's, it still counts.
It's horror year. It gets a whole year because you couldn't leave your house. Therefore, it's horror all year.
Oh, there you go. Love it.
Well, you're not wrong.
No.
And that's the thing. Nobody can say you're right anymore. They just, you're not wrong.
Goodness.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Anyway, I'm a little nervous, a little rusty, so I hope this is a good story. I don't know why I did a little voice there, but I did.
Nobody knows.
Gather around the campfire. It's time for a story. Paul was a guy who wanted to help. A stockbroker of many, many years, Paul loved talking to people. Figuring out their finances, their family structure, generally getting to know them as best he could. He loved finding them the best deals. It helped that the man was an unyielding expert in the field. He knew exactly where to put the money at the perfect opportunity. The ability bordered on the supernatural. Living this life of assisting people with their own money had provided Paul with more money than most mortals knew what to do with. Mansions, yachts, exotic cars, he had it all. Paul had no family of his own, but that was well and good by him. He was happy to live vicariously through his clients in this regard. One day, a single woman entered Paul's office. The woman was desperate to turn her life around. Foolish with money in her younger years, she was crippled by debt and bad credit. And sad as it is, she had no one. No husband, wife, son, daughter, etc. It sounded like she barely had any friends at all, too. This struck something within Paul. An opportunity. You see, some years ago Paul was on death's door, but he had made a deal that changed his life, and now he could pay it forward. When Paul, in his more selfish younger years, of course, had been diagnosed with lung cancer, it was a complete stranger that helped prolong his life. He invited the woman to his private office. It was there, in the safe he hid behind a painting, where the secret lay. The woman was wide-eyed with intrigue that her prospects might finally be turning around. She was eagerly standing behind Paul, desperate to sneak a glimpse into the safe. Paul turned around from the safe quickly. The handheld scythe stored within raised high in the air. As he brought it down, slashing across her torso, her body and soul disintegrated into the blade. One more soul for the Reaper, one more week of life for Paul. It was the best deal he had ever gotten.
Wow, that's dark.
Wow, that is dark.
I disagree. I think it's jovial.
Yeah, that's a very upbeat tale.
Thank you. What do you think the moral of the story is?
If you can make a deal to extend your life, take it.
Yeah, selfishness. That's my moral.
Yeah, that's what it
Be
feels like.
selfish, everybody.
I mean, if you want to like crunch it in and put it in that little box, I wasn't going to put it in that box. I was just like, hey.
Maybe something about how we all make deals with the devil.
That's good.
Speak for yourself.
That sounds better. My moral is the price you pay.
Mm-hmm. Actions have consequences.
Not all the time. Not for everyone.
No, they should.
Yeah. Depends on what shape your office is. Anyway,
I think that was a have-nots joke.
I think I get it.
The shape of if your office is oval, perhaps there are no consequences for your actions.
I got it.
Hey, what would you sell your soul for?
Oh, that's an interesting.
$29.99.
Wow, you're cheap.
Plus a food processor.
It's weird. It's weird you wouldn't even go for like $99.99. You're like, nah.
$30 and give me the option to make some snacks. I think I'm good. So, like, legitimately sell my soul?
What do you think could get you to sell your soul?
Now, do you mean completely forever, like Lucifer wise, or do you, in the biblical sense, or do you mean in terms of on this actual plane, how much would it take for you to do something wicked?
Well, I think we all do wicked things, and anyone who says they're not is a liar. However, I meant, write your soul away in blood. Like, would you do it to save your own skin?
No.
The devil comes to you?
Nope.
What about for your kid's skin,
Possibly. That's probably about, like, for someone I loved. Probably.
Yeah, I was going to say it would be for someone that I care about.
But I would have to lock in a time frame. I mean, it's kind of like when you buy a car. I want a guaranteed warranty. So I want that in writing. It's not like, well, I'm not going to be duped. I've seen too many of those movies where you make that deal and then, but they die 5 minutes later. Ha 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 ha, you sucker.
See, you're super smart because I'm the person who's just like, yeah, okay. I mean, and I know this is going to sound a little bit nerdy and get a little off track, but I was in my D&D campaign and I had the option to literally sell my soul to the devil. And I legit almost did it until I realized, oh, this is probably not going to be a good idea. So I didn't, but I had no issue just walking in like, hey, do you want to make a deal? And he was like, yeah, let's do it.
We take 4 months off, all of a sudden, Amanda's a giant nerd.
What if the devil looked like Tom Ellis? I mean, I really think that's...
Oh, yes. Here, take it.
Is this a sexy man from the Lucifer show that people like?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
you haven't watched Lucifer?
I am straight and I'm thinking about it. I'm just letting you know.
No, I've not seen DC Comics Lucifer television program.
Well, maybe you should.
He looks very handsome.
He is very handsome, and he's got a devilish accent.
Let's get back on track. Get the train.
This is the track I want to be on, you know what I'm saying?
All right. Everybody loves you when you're bi.
Yep.
So
no, we got it. But only if you're not ugly. If you're ugly, then nobody likes you.
No, Living Color song specifically said everyone. So I don't.
It was a joke.
Jeez.
Calm down. I'm not coming for the band.
Nobody.
he is right.
Very wrong. Wait,
now we're all going to get canceled 5 years from now.
five years from now when they finally hear the episode.
I would sell my soul quite easily to the devil for someone that I care about.
I have strict requirements.
I mean, eternal damnation's eternal.
Yeah, I mean, see, I always wondered, is there a loophole? Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure the Bible says if you ask Jesus for his forgiveness, your soul will be saved. Well, can you just make the deal and then be like, by the way, hey, Jesus, can I have some forgiveness? Bam!
And then you go in the confessional and you're like, 7 Hail Marys, I'm good.
Yeah, and you're just like, Hail Mary. As you rip up that little contract, you're like, Hail Mary, shh, Hail Mary.
Also,
Hail Mary.
maybe the conversation needs to be had of which layer of hell would I be sitting in?
Like, is it the Epstein hell, or is it all, or is it even lower than that?
This all sounds like a scene out of Dogma, by the way.
Oh, God, what a great movie.
Great program.
Program.
What a great product they put out there.
I'm going to go wear my show, watch my shows.
All right. Good stuff, guys.
Well, you didn't tell us about you selling your soul.
Yeah,
Have you already done it?
Well,
Is that
would you sell your soul for? Or is it already a done deal? And you're just letting us know that you wrote. This is actually your story.
I mean, I think you know what? Actually, in 7th grade, I did sign over my soul to a friend in blood. I don't know if that's binding though.
Like, why? For what? For like a peanut butter cup or something?
Could be because you could have hepatitis that way.
It was written on a piece of loose leaf paper, so I don't know how. It wasn't notarized by a demon or anything.
What kind of friendship is this?
You didn't do anything weird when you were a kid?
What kind? Like, seriously, not like
A blood
that.
sacrifice
No, I didn't have those
deal?
kinds
No.
of trust
Look,
issues.
we didn't have. This is before.
No, Jim, blood. You can't just say yes.
They hadn't figured out hepatitis yet. So anyway, I guess I should have told that story. I sold my soul away in that scenario to prove that I did not believe in souls.
That sounds like something a 4-year-old Zack would definitely do.
Well,
Or
I was
20.
12.
Or 20-some-year-old one.
Yeah. Or 30. It doesn't matter. I'll prove this stupid point.
I don't understand the thing with the blood oath. Well, or I get boys do that or whatever. Or usually boys, where I'm not trying to pick. I just know boys.
Blood
do it.
brothers.
Yeah, the whole blood brothers thing, where you cut your finger and they cut their finger and you smear it, and that's supposed to be like that's a bond. Can't you just say I swear, Bob, I swear I'm gonna do whatever the stupid thing was that I agreed to. No, we're gonna be friends forever. This makes it so like. Whoa, but we smeared blood when we were 7, so I guess now I can't not be friends with you, even though you're a dick when we're older.
Maybe you just don't have any real friends. I mean, that's a problem.
No, I trusted him. We worked out all right.
You know what?
I've had the same best friend for 40 years. I think I'm okay.
Yeah. Well, you guys probably shared blood at some point. You're just not that,
No, we stole penny races together. Does that count? I think,
Yeah.
That's our bond. We broke the law.
You said peh. I thought I was about to get Donnie.
No.
I did the Blood Brothers thing as a child.
How many times? How many blood brothers do you have?
I have one blood brother. Simmer down. I don't know.
Do you have any blood sisters
Could be
or
dead.
blood cousins? How far
Are
does
you a blood
this?
sexist?
I got blood sisters. All right.
Okay.
Back to the hepatitis.
Sounds like your diseases are
I don't
developing.
want to
here.
know what that even means. It just feels like wrong in about 12 different languages.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not trying to turn this thing explicit, so
I don't want to know. No,
Anyway,
I don't
what
know.
I sell my soul for? Probably just about anything.
Like Cheetos.
So a Klondike bar?
No, Klondike bars suck.
You are drunk. I would actually consider it for a Klondike bar. They are
Klondike
delicious.
bars are the worst. They crumble apart as you're eating them. They're the worst.
Aren't they called Eskimo American bars now?
Aren't they?
Oh boy.
Oh.
No, he's making a joke about the PC culture
They changed.
of today.
They changed their name. They were wanting to change their name because it really.
No, they didn't.
They did too. Google it. Not
For real?
Not now. Later.
Too late.
If you guys are listening at home, be sure to tweet at us what the Klondike is called.
I said they were in the process. They thought they should. Or no, Eskimo. It was Eskimo pies. I'm sorry. It was Eskimo pies. It wasn't Klondike bars. It was Eskimo pies.
Oh wow, yeah.
Anyways, if some creepy guy was like, "Here's $1 million for your soul," I'd sign it over. Sure. I don't believe it's going to hell.
$1 million? You'd do it for $1 million, huh?
I don't care. I don't really.
That's not that much money.
You would sell your soul for the same amount that Demi Moore got to sleep with Robert Redford.
What?
Still not enough for that
It was a
either.
movie, but
Oh, I see. Okay.
indecent proposal. But he basically paid $1 million to sleep with Demi Moore, who was Woody Harrelson's wife. So you would sell your soul for the same price Demi Moore got for a booty call.
Sure. Yeah.
That's
Why not?
And that was like 20 years ago. I mean, with inflation, your soul's going pretty cheap.
Zach, are you answering this question the way you are because you don't believe in souls, or are you at least pretending to be under the possibility that souls exist and that the devil exists? You know what I'm saying?
He's down in Georgia.
So he was looking for Soul to Seal. He was in a bind. He was way behind. I am so stubborn on this topic. It would have to be the devil himself before I'm finally like, you know what? This might be a bad call.
How do you know it's the devil? How do you know it's just not
He would
Steve?
look like Ray Wise.
Okay. I understand that.
Yeah.
All right.
See?
I'm good.
Do shit. And then I would know. I thought this topic would be fun for you guys, but yeah, I just don't. We've gone over on the show before. I just don't believe in the concept.
So you would be like, haha, I won. Because basically you stole $1 million from someone who's obviously a lunatic.
Right. And then I end up in the 7th layer of hell, and I'm like, you know what? Joke is on me, actually. I messed up.
My bad. I really should have read it.
Hey, Satan, if I say my bad, it's a take back, right?
How many Hail Marys can you drop down here? Does he still hear him? Nope. Soundproof. We're soundproof down here.
Good stuff. Anyway, another question. What do you think of the moral line Paul is writing by only killing lonely people?
I feel like that's a little rude.
Why, they're lonely. No one's gonna miss them.
Wow. They won't be lonely anymore. So there's that, but I think
he's helping them out. Paul's he's a man of the people.
But that doesn't mean they're going to be lonely forever.
That's very dark. Take the unhappy married people. Take them.
Seriously, they don't want to be there anyway.
They want out so bad. They will volunteer for this.
Then you get 2 souls at once that way.
Not the whole couple.
You
just
take
the person
unhappy
who's super
one,
unhappy.
the one that's left. They'll have some mourning period, and then they can go hook up with the lonely person. It all works out.
If one person in a marriage is unhappy, then both people are unhappy.
Not necessarily.
True.
Sometimes you just completely are blind.
Well, then Paul's going to get you. And now he gets 2 extra weeks because he made a sweet-ass deal with the Grim Reaper.
That's a sweet deal.
I'm telling you, man, you just got to kill one person. For one person he kills, he gets a week of life. What a deal.
I feel like he needs a better deal than that.
That's pretty good.
Like at least a month.
He needs a manager at this point. He needs someone to negotiate.
A devil manager.
Yeah, negotiate the terms, because it doesn't seem right that this guy only gets a week. He took someone's life. You should get more than a week.
Their very soul, even.
He needs a lawyer.
I didn't really think it through because the Grim Reaper is only supposed to kill people that deserve to be killed, right? So
he needs Robert Downey Jr.'s manager. That's what he needs. He needs somebody who can go in and make the hard deal.
Wait, spoiler alert. Are you telling me that this is not a true story?
I don't know. Do you believe in the Grim Reaper?
I don't know,
then.
but you just said while you were thinking it through
I'm thinking
that you didn't think it through.
I felt like once the soul was imbibed into the scythe, it was kind of a giveaway that it might be triction.
Jeez. Oi.
Don't you steal triction.
Oi. It's copyrighted.
Aaron will beat you to it. I think as far as bad people go, he's not the worst.
He's also not very great either.
You could make him the main character of a TV show.
Can we examine that for a second?
All right.
The worst. That can be applied to literally everyone except the absolute worst. I mean, there are people worse than Dahmer. There are people worse than Ted Bundy. Yeah, you can be like, well, he's not the worst serial killer. I mean, there's other people.
It doesn't make them any less awful.
It doesn't make them less awful.
Sure does.
Aaron's just providing an echo.
Well,
it was literally perfectly timed.
When somebody's as smart as you, Amanda, it's hard not to echo your opinion.
Oh, thanks, Zach, for giving me some false hope.
That sounded so sarcastic.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with me. No one can tell when I'm sarcastic.
I know. It's a thing of beauty. No, I was being genuine. He.
Was he? This is a side one because I have been obsessed with the iconography of the Grim Reaper ever since I was a youth. What do you think of the iconic Grim Reaper imagery, and why is it so beloved?
It perfectly visualizes what people think of the figure of death. You know, you have an entirely black cloak and a scythe or scythe. I always say that wrong.
I think it's scythe.
Okay.
I've always said scythe.
He always has that cool blade, and it just looks bad. I mean, it really narrows everything you need. You need to think about the figure of death. So it's a perfect representation of what one would expect. And it'll end up looking like your librarian or something, if there actually was one. You would never see it coming. But I like that in movies and fiction and comic books and everything else, it's represented that way.
Something that can hide in the shadows. Super easy and just like be there 1 minute and take your life the next. It's also, a lot of people like to draw it. I think the simplistic nature of the figure makes people want to replicate it, and kind of like Garfield. I know that's weird.
The Garfield and the Grim Reaper in the same breath.
Yeah, that took a weird turn. Okay.
Well, one of them brings joy, and the other is Garfield.
Mondays.
Lasagna.
That sounds good, actually.
Yeah, I think it's super cool. I was obsessed with Grim Reaper as a kid, to like an unhealthy degree. Not even like the death aspect, just how he looks so cool. And right, I got in trouble in high school once. I don't know if I've told the story, or middle school, where we had to come up with our own business proposal. And my logo was a Grim Reaper for Zack Parkinson's Citizen Removal Services.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm proud of that one.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
Did they let you like full on keep going? Did you get a good grade for this?
No, I got in trouble.
Okay.
I had to redo my business proposal.
It's ridiculous. That seems like a legitimate business. Did it have to be a legitimate business, or did they not specify that?
You know what? They never told me it had to be a legitimate business.
Sounds like an A to me.
Thank you. You know what? Thank you.
I mean, it's a professional business.
Who came up with the Grim Reaper? Do you guys know the origins of Grim Reaper?
I guess I always assumed the Bible.
More to the point, I'm picturing what would he sound like, and I've got a picture of a guy from Jersey who's just like, look, I'm here for your soul. You know what I mean? So you're going to need to come with me, or else I'm going to make you come with me. You know what I mean? That's what I picture.
How cool would it be if he could just like, he never spoke, but he could just talk to you in your mind, and it came in your own voice. Creepy, right?
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
I don't even like listening to myself on a podcast.
Neither does anybody else. Just kidding.
Whoa.
Hey, Zach, I'll make a deal for her soul.
That's ice cold.
It's worth a lot.
I don't know about that.
It's like $5 at least.
A Twix bar and some
and a Butterfinger.
macaroons.
Yeah. Ew, no.
Macaroons or macarons?
Neither.
Tomato. Delicious.
I love macarons. What do you guys think the story is truth or fiction?
Truth.
What a tough one, Zach.
Definitely true. Definitely.
Definitely fiction.
It's true in my heart, but it is fiction.
Disappointing. What's the title of your story?
The Art of the Deal.
Ah!
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was good. That was a fun one.
Every now and again, you just have to tell a story that's obviously false, just to have some fun.
Hey, sometimes you tell a really horrible story and it throws people off. That could have been true, and I would have been like, really?
Yeah, you would have no choice but to believe me.
Exactly. How would I know? How can I prove it? I can't.
Yeah, take me at my word.
Well, hey, you know what? As our show goes, we occasionally pick listener stories to read and discuss on Smirk. If you'd like to have the chance to have yours read, email it to mystory@smirkpodcast.com. Try to keep them a little shorter. Join the conversation by joining our Facebook group. Follow us on Twitter @Smirk Podcast, and be sure to use the show's hashtag Smirk and subscribe. Just tell your friends. Please tell your friends if you like the show so people find it and they enjoy it, and we keep making it.
5-star reviews, baby.
Yeah. 3-star reviews. We will sell your soul if you do that. So don't do that.
3 and under.
I'll sell you my soul for a 5-star review.
What if you get 10 of them?
Well, as long as they don't all talk to each other, they'll never know.
That sounds awful.
As you write your own life story, always remember to tell it with a smirk.
Oh, that was ghoulish.
That was kind of ominous.
I might be rusty, by the way, guys. I'm feeling a little nervous. Season break. Not sure I still got it.
Okay, Vin Diesel, calm down.
That guy was both fast and furious.
I hope he found his family.
He's looking for him a quarter mile at a time.
Oh my god. Don't make me laugh. That hurts.